So I've been flirting with TT all year. I bought the Hornby Easterner start set just to see what TT was doing and to do some promotional work for Lens to look at the decoders and control systems. And that's where I sort of left off when I last looked at it. Now a lot has changed since Hornby entered the fray in TT scale. A lot of European manufacturers had been pottering along with just a few items in their catalogue, so I couldn't really sort of invest heavily in it at that time. It was always going to be a scrappy range. However, there's been quite a bit of news of late on the TT front. So Roco have purchased the track and rolling stock range from Kuhn, however you pronounce it, which means that they now can offer a decent catalogue of TT scale rather than just a handful of Locos and the occasional wagon. So they have put out a TT catalogue, and also is the basis of a track range, which looks very interesting. There's 3 styles of point geometry, double slip in planning that Kuhn had started to work on, so can't be that far away. And hopefully they will then expand that range. At the moment it's got a couple of radiuses which can make some interesting compact layouts with, and there is a flexi track option as well, but I have a great preference towards set track. It just makes life a lot easier, makes it easier to begin in a scale as well. So the plan at this moment is to slowly build up TT stock and then do a proper launch once we have a reasonable amount in stock. We're probably 3 or 4 months away from Roco starting to deliver on their new items. It's certainly into next year, so I just sort of want to do a heads up, but I'm not going to, it's going to look a little bit scrappy, and I kind of want it to look a bit better when I formally announce what I'm doing. So I'm going to be concentrating on European TT. It's what we're known for doing, or European is what we're known for doing. And I'm familiar with the companies that make it, so it's primarily going to be Roco and Pico, with some Arnold thrown into the mix. And then depending on what happens next, I will then start looking at other makes. I've got the British TT in, as I say, for experimental purposes. It's not something that I'm going to be able to stock. It is only a chosen few, and that's fine. As I say, I think I will stick with my strengths, which is the European side. And TT is the first scale that you can have a direct comparison between the sizes of British and European stock. They are all perfectly to scale, which shows just how huge some of the European stock is. So we've got an East German Ludmilla compared to the A4 there. It towers above it. And even more so the double deck stock. The ability of having a loading gauge that allows you to have double deck stock. Much of the UK network having a very small loading gauge for historical reasons. And what I've got here is an HO scale coach set to match the East German articulated set that we've got in TT in front. And you can already see the space advantage of TT in that the complete train fits in the same footprint as the coach set. And the advantage of TT above N is that they can be highly detailed, but they also retain the volume and therefore the weight, so you have better traction. It also allows more equipment to be fitted. N, I think, has suffered particularly from the advent of sound, in that manufacturers now deplete the weight to fit more electronics in a model, which the larger scales can accommodate without losing tractive weight. So with Roco showing more commitment to the TT scale, I'm absolutely certain that Pico Germany also will start concentrating on it as well. They've also had a little bit of a fractured range so far. They've probably had a better range than Roco though, to be fair to them. And this is one of their Ludmillas. It shows some of the advantages of TT in that they have more electronic features in them without degrading their performance. So you get red and white headlights, and you've got this nice little number plate illumination as well. Just a nice added feature to the Roco. Pico also have been producing a new generation of steam era models. So this is a former Prussian G71 in Czech ownership. It's a tiny Roco by comparison. Let's quickly go forward. So you've got LED headlights, got fine running gear with a little valve pump on the side, a little lubricator or something driven off the wheel there. LED tail lights there as well in direction. Got a wagon behind it because it does show that the European TT really buffers up nicely as well. And on coaching stock that looks absolutely brilliant. Again, these are both analogue. I have got digital sound Locos on order. And we also feel that in 2024 things will become more available.